Singapore's home team is ramping up its use of AI and robotics to better protect the country against evolving security threats. New capabilities and partnerships are being rolled out, including robotics for frontline work, building a strong AI workforce, and plans to expand into space-based systems. Coordinating Minister for National Security K. Shanmugam says these technologies will play a bigger role as threats become more complex. Aslam Shah with more.
More partnerships and new tech to help keep Singapore safe. The Millipore TechX Summit showcases how global science and tech can strengthen public safety. Coordinating Minister for National Security K. Shanmugam shares that the Home Team AI movement's objectives apply AI widely, responsibly, and to deliver decisive operational impact.
Serious AI capability requires infrastructure which is sovereign, it requires trusted partnerships, and it requires the ability to build and deploy models that are under our control. Otherwise, sovereignty is affected.
He adds that infrastructure and models such as a deal in place in frontier AI research are not the full picture.
In Singapore, in Home Affairs, we are building a very strong home team AI workforce. And we will continue to invest in people who can deploy these systems well and safely and effectively.
For this Singapore firm, it has devised a new tool to help solve crimes.
In today's digital age, investigators of a crime could have to sift through years of text messages and hours of CCTV footage just to get to the bottom of a crime. But with this new AI computer, that could be cut down to less than a minute. After uploading all the documents for this case of assault, for example, it can immediately tell me the key persons involved, the different locations, and even the timeline of events that led to the crime.
It's a massive boost to efficiency, but engineers behind it emphasize that it functions as a complementary tool.
What investigators get out of it is simply really to see the generated output and make their own assessment. Because at the end of the day, this has to be a human-in-the-loop process. Investigators still has to make the final decision as to what they want to do with the information.
Information can be uploaded in various formats: images, documents, chat logs, statements, as well as videos.
A Home Team Humanoid Robotics Centre to test tech for use in high-risk operations such as firefighting and search and rescue missions. The centre will be launched in September. The aim is to roll out humanoid robots by next year, which will cut the risk for frontline officers. Noah Kong reports.
Robots already help with routine work, but this system, built by HTX, is something more. It's called telepresence, not just remote control, but the feeling of stepping into the machine. One task for the robot is to handle toxic liquids. In the last year alone, the system was refined to mirror its operator's whole body, not just their upper body motion. This and more will be part of the new $100 million Humanoid Robotics Centre, announced in May last year.
I believe the shortest route to deploy such platform quickly is through telepresence, and that allows us to augment our public safety operations and yet also allow us to collect valuable data to train our embodied AI models to support public safety operations.
And some of the robots don't just work on land. The Ocean 1K is a humanoid bot capable of reaching depths of up to 1,000 meters. It's typically used to detect and locate targets during search and rescue operations.
This underwater humanoid is equipped with stereo vision as well as a haptic feedback system. So stereo vision allows the operators to actually have a 3D view of the underwater environment, and the haptic feedback system actually allows the operators to actually feel contact, forces as well as resistance remotely while the interaction is actually happening underwater. So yeah, these are the key value propositions for the underwater humanoid.
Like responders on land, the aim is to reduce the need for divers in complex underwater operations. Beyond public safety, humanoid robots can also help in healthcare and customer service. One tech company says the physical bots have had a positive effect on another particular group.
In the case of education, even interact with students to bring students out from a very maybe isolated kind of a state, right, to one where they are more engaged and more open. Right, we've actually seen students open up when they deal with a robot, right, much more than a flat screen, a digital screen. So, and it's actually good for them to actually express themselves and share a bit about their insights, through a very more engaging manner.
The company says it has a robot manager, which could even enable humanoids to not just work alone, but to work with other robots and, of course, people.
HTX is also working on sending its first satellite into space. It's part of a 5-year agreement with ST Engineering to develop a space technology program. This is a model of the satellite called Explorer. It's being designed to detect dangerous gases from space so that emergency services have more time to respond to incidents. They'll also be working on other projects involving Earth observation for public safety. On the sidelines, HTX also signed a deal with French AI startup Mistral to use the technology in areas like robotics and analysis. Home team officers will also get training and access to the digital infrastructure needed to run such AI applications.